What I want to have you look at in this video is this new or different shape called a trapezoid, and to talk about how we can find the area and perimeter of these shapes. And the thing that I want you to know is that you already know how to work with these shapes. So, because we've done these the odd shapes before, where we had, like the L or the we had all these other ones like that. You had all sorts of different shapes. So you know how to deal with breaking apart shapes. So we're just going to use that with this other new situation of trapezoids. So here on this slide you can see that there are two examples of trapezoids. Trapezoids are, you can see that there are four sides, so they're quadrilaterals. You can see that it's a closed shape, so that's great. Sorry for my terrible handwriting. You can see also that there are only one pair of parallel sides, like this side is parallel to this side, and this side is parallel to this side. Let me draw one just this way so you can see this also. This is also a trapezoid because it has this side is parallel to this side. So it doesn't just have to be on the top and the bottom. So it's a quadrilateral, closed shape, four sides, and only one pair of parallel sides. When you look at this trapezoid here, you can see that you have the one pair of parallel sides, this one and this one. So I can't just use my parallelogram formula for the area anymore. It just doesn't work. So we're going to keep that in mind. Let's first work with the perimeter on this one. And the perimeter we know is just, excuse me, if I were an ant walking around this shape, how would I get from one starting point all the way back to that? So I'm just going to do perimeter. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to walk here, and I go 9 inches. I go here, I go 4 inches. I go here, I get 6 inches. And again, if you want to check them off, like we did with the odd shapes, that's great. And then I do here, this slant is 5 inches. And it takes me all the way back to the beginning. And I can see I've checked them all off, perimeter's all done. So now we can add them up any way you want. I'm going to put numbers together that make tens. So I have my 4 and my 6, so that's 10 plus 9 plus 5. And then I'm going to say 9 plus 10 is 19, and 19 plus 5 is 24. And I have to remember my label is inches because I'm dealing with perimeter. All right, I'm going to remove that, and now we're going to talk about the area. I want you to really think back to what you knew about like that L shape or that T shape. You guys were so great at being able to take that and break it into smaller pieces. We're going to do the same thing here. So instead of dealing with this trapezoid, I'm going to instead say, well, let's just call it instead a rectangle and then a triangle. We have to be really careful labeling things. You have to be super, super aware of this. All right, so now if this is I'm going to move this 9 in. If this is right here, a rectangle on the right, I know my formula is area equals base, I'm going to use a lowercase b. The area is going to be base times height. My base here, because it's 6 up here, I also know it's 6 here. So I'm going to write 6 here just to help me. And I can see my right angle here, so I know this is my height. So 6 times 4 is my area, or 24 square inches. Now I have to label my triangle. I'm going to first write here that my formula for the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. Some of you do base times half of height. Some of you do base times height all over 2. Whatever you pick is fine. But let's now look at the labeling on this. So because this whole thing was 9 and this section was 6, I know that this remaining part in here needs to be 3 inches. Because the 3 inches here, the 6 inches here makes up my 9 inches. Then I can take my 4 inches from here and move it over, and I know it lines up. So that's 4 inches there. Then I have to ask myself, where's the base and the height? You guys are so good at remembering that the base and the height forms that right angle. So the 5 inches has nothing to do with it because it doesn't make the right angle. So my height is 4, my base is 3, and I'm going to just divide by 2. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So it's 6 square inches with a triangle. To find the area of the whole thing then now, I'm just going to put that back together, just like we would have done with the odd shape. And so now my total area is going to be the 24 from the rectangle, the 6 from the triangle, so it's 30 square inches. Let's get the perimeter done on this. And what we're going to do is we're going to just, again, walk all the way around the shape, check it off as we go. So I have 22, I have 15, I have 10, and I have 9. So I'm going to just see what goes together. I don't see anything nicely going together, so I'm going to add a pair at a time. 22 and 15 is 37. 10 and 9 is 19. 19 is almost 20. So 37 plus 20 would be 57, and I have to take away one more. So 56 meters is my perimeter. I'm going to erase that just because we don't have a lot of space, to be honest. And then we're going to look at the area. I'm going to do the same thing we did on the last side. I'm going to break the shape into 2 different ones. I'm going to break it into a rectangle and a right triangle. And I'm also going to write my formula for each before I start, just so my brain is ready for all this great work. So for this rectangle, I know my area is base times height. For this triangle, I know my area is base times height divided by 2. So let's get to the rectangle. I know this part is 10, this part is 9, this part is also 10, and this part is 9. To make my life a little bit easier, I'm going to label the 9 here for this part and the 10 here for this part. So I know my base is 9 and my height is 10, so the area of my rectangle is 90 square meters. Super. Now I'm going to go over here to my triangle. With my triangle, I have to really be thinking about where everything is very carefully. But I'm only looking for the information that makes my right angle, because that's my base and my height. I can see right here that my base is 9, so I'm going to put that in. Now I really have to ask myself, where am I going to find my height? And it's right here. I know the whole thing is 22, and this part from here to here is 10. So I have to ask myself, 10 plus what is going to get me to 22? So I know this part is 12, because 10 plus 22, or 10 plus 12 equals 22. So that means the height of my triangle is 12, and I'm going to divide this by 2. So now I know 9 times 12 is 108, and I'm going to divide that by 2, and I get 54. And I'm going to label that, square meters. So now I'm going to go back to what I know already and say that the total area is going to be just like we do with those odd shapes. The area of the rectangle and the area of the triangle put together. So 90 plus 54 is equal to 144 square meters. All right, so give the ones on the Google form a try. I think you're going to do a great job, and if you want to, go back and watch this the same time you're doing the problems to help you out. All right, I hope you're feeling good about this, and we're going to work on this all period tomorrow. Bye.